Good evening, good evening, good evening, and greetings, everyone. Wagwan. This is Chief Kalinago Flying Eagle. I'm here with another video. This is lesson 6. Let me make sure I have audio. Yep. All right, so we got audio. We got audio on YouTube, so everything is good to go. Everything is copacetic. All right. Now, check this out. Once again, these videos, these lessons are strictly for educational purposes. I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. All I'm just here to do is give you the information you may not have been privy to because of the educational system that's strictly from a colonization perspective. So, we get to study his story, but I'm taking you into prehistory, right? And even his story from a certain different perspectives. A lot of these teachings were whitewashed and people are not being taught the truth. So, with that being said, you may ask, well, Chief, why is all that relevant? What does that have to do with YT Kubuli? Well, it's important because if I could show you where the educational system and these other people lied about major events and significant people, all right, then what else wouldn't they lie about? Trust me, everything that you know is a lie. Everything that you were taught is a lie. I promise you. You have to question everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, okay, the nobility of Europe, who actually came into the Americas, who were responsible for sending the colonizers, the conquistadors, into the Americas, okay? Because most people think they were pale people. And when I say pale people, I mean so-called white people. I promise you they were not. Okay, pale people did not come into power in the Americas, as, particularly the United States, until the late 1800s, and in different parts of the Americas in the late 1700s. Okay, but the true people that are actually behind this whole scheme of lies, they look like us, and we're gonna dive into that right now. Okay, so open up your mind. Like I said, get your emotions out of all of this. Okay, and relearn history, relearn the mystery. I promise you, it's stranger than fiction. All right. So let's get into this. Let's do some reading because reading is fun for the mental. Okay. So let me go ahead and share my screen and we're going to read from a book. Okay. Let me go ahead and share this. Because when you ask people, like I said, most people think that it was the pale man, so-called white people that came into the Americas and started enslaving people. No, it were people who look just like you and I. And I'm going to prove it to you once more. Okay, because I like to show the facts. Just so you know, I put a copy of this PDF in the description because I want people to do their independent reading. I want people to do their own research. Do your own due diligence because, like I told you before, don't believe anything that I say. Nothing. Everything that I put on YouTube, on this channel, I want you to think that I'm telling lies. You know why? Because I want to give you the initiative to go ahead and do your own research and prove me wrong. All right. That's how confident I am with my research and my scholar. Okay. So let's get into that right now. So we're gonna read from the memoirs of the Secret Services of John Mackay, Esquire. Now, who is this gentleman? Let us look on Google real quick and see who John Mackay is. All right, because this is an eyewitness. He was a spy. So let me go ahead and let me go ahead and please, I'm not going to apologize for being hype. Okay, I'm always passionate about this, so it may seem like I'm a bit aggressive, but please don't take that for aggression. Okay, I'm just like that. All right, because I'm, like I said, I'm passionate about this. So let me go to Google real quick. Let's see who John Mackay is. Here we go. And we are talking about this man died in 1726, and in the 1700s, the nobles of Europe were so-called black people. Like I told y'all before, somebody lied to you, but I'm here to expose all of this because we are living in the age of enlightenment. So who was John Mackay? John Mackay died in 1726, all right, and he was a Scottish spy. He was the first person to inform the British authorities of James's II intended invasion of England in 1692, after the former king had fled to France from England, okay, because he went into France He was exiled into France because his life was being threatened. You see, a lot of people don't know the history and the story of Europe. So they believe anything that's being taught to them in the schools out here in the Americas. But like I said before, I'm about to expose all of this. And this man was an eyewitness. Now, we are going to talk about, for one, we're going to look at Queen Anne. When was the reign of Queen Anne?
According to historic royal palaces, Queen Anne, younger daughter of James II, is often overlooked by historians, yet her time on the throne, 1702 to 14, changed Britain forever. Her reign saw the end of the Stuart dynasty and laid the way for the Georgian era.
Okay, so we're going to, in reading the book, we're going to come across Queen Anne. Now, I just show you the date of her reign. So as you could see, it corresponds with the time of John Mackay. All right, most people don't know Queen Anne was a woman of color, but you see, his story will not teach you that. But this is what we're about to get into. I'm about to expose all of this, okay? Because it's time for the awakening. So let me go ahead and share my screen real quick, and we are going to go back to the book. And like I said, I gave you a copy of the PDF of the book because I want you to do your own reading, do your own research. However, I made a few highlights just to make my point, okay? To get the message or the lesson, make it clear, okay? So here we are. Here we are. Let's get into this. Give me 1 second. It seemed like there might be a slight delay. So let me just make sure that you are seeing what I'm actually sharing. I may have to stop sharing and share it again. Give me 1 second. All right, so here we are. Okay. Memoirs of the Secret Services of John Mackay Esquire during the reign of King Williams. Okay, King Williams, Queen Anne, and King George I. All these people were people of color. Okay, including also the true secret history of the rise, promotions of the English and Scots nobility, officers, civil, military, etc., etc., etc. Okay. Now, this is to the Prince of Wales, just so you know. That's who it's dedicated to. It says dedication. All therefore that is for further necessary is only to assure. The writing is a little bit different. So you'll see something that look like an F, but it's actually an S. So because I'm kind of used to, seeing that type of style of writing or the text, then I'm able to, read it without any problems. But forgive me if I stumble between a few words, all right? Because like I said, the spelling is a bit differently, okay? So let's proceed. It's only to assure your Royal Highness that these characters are faithfully printed from the author's original manuscript and were drawn up by direction of the Princess Sophia. Now, Sophia was also a woman of color, and she was the one who authorized, the author to, reprint the manuscript from the original version, okay? As it is attested both by himself and the son. And you see the Royal Highness, and what you realize that when they're giving the descriptions of these people, they have to sign their name to show and prove that the document was authentic. That's how authentic this is. All right, let us proceed. To the reader, we're not going to read that. We're just going to continue. Okay, we're going to skip all that. I want to get to the meat of what I really want to get to y'all. I think I got to go all the way down. I think it starts on page 64, if I'm not mistaken, where I want to start. All right, so let us go ahead and scroll down some more, because we're going to go into the characteristics. Okay, we're going to go into the characteristics. Here we go. Characteristics of the court of Great Britain. Remember, Great Britain was consists of Ireland, Scotland, and Wales, etc., etc. That was what Great Britain was consisted of. Okay, so here we are. His Royal Highness Prince George, husband to Queen Anne. Now keep those names of these nobilities. Keep that in mind. We're talking about Prince George, who later became King George, and Queen and Princess Anne, which later became Queen Anne, right? So Prince George was the husband of Queen Anne, and Lord High Admiral of England is brother to the late King of Denmark. Okay, so all these people are related. So therefore, the King of Denmark was also a man of color, and uncle to present was chosen by King Charles II, who is also a man of color, because I'm going to prove that, to be husband to his niece, the Princess Anne. So you had Queen Anne and you had Princess Anne. Because having no dominion of his own to gratify, he would have nothing else in view but the interests of England. Okay? In the reign of King Charles II, having but little English and becoming naturally modest, he made no considerable figure, nor in reign of King James, till the increase of the popery, alarming the whole nation, he conquered with the rest of the Protestant nobility for the bringing over of the Prince of Orange, and with the princess left the court to join the party. Now I'm not going to read all that. We're going to scroll all the way down, and we are going to read here the highlighted sections. Now check this out. We have here give me 1 second. Let's read here. During all King William's reign, he never entered into administration, yet came always to Parliament regularly, as often to the court, diverted himself with hunting, and never openly declared himself of any party. On the Queen's assertion to the crown, he was made Lord High Admiral of England and Warden of the Cinque Ports. He is Prince of familiar easy disposition, with a good found understanding, but modest in showing it. A great lover of the High Church of England. The nearer it comes to the Lutheranianism, this is often shows by his vote in the House of Peers. Otherwise, he does not much meddle with affairs out of his office. He is very fat, loves news, his bottle, and the Queen, by whom he have had many children. So that is Queen and husband, a fat so-called black dude. But the children that they had, none of them were alive, right? He have neither many friends nor enemies in England. On the Queen's assertion to the throne, he was towards 50 years old. All right, let's scroll down. I'm going to open up your eyes and your mind to some things that these people are not teaching you. Like I said, the truth must prevail, because only the truth will set us free. And I'm here to bring the truth. Let us look at, so we're looking at the nobility of Great Britain. And we're talking about from the 1600s all the way up. But this particular era is within the 1700s. Okay. James, Duke of Ormond, Lord Lieutenant of Ireland, is grandson to the Duke, who was Lord Lieutenant most of the King Charles II's reign, and son to the Earl of Ossory, who was general in Holland. He was, let us go down to his description. All right. I just read a little bit of his title. Let's go down to his description. Give me 1 second, because I don't have to read the entire thing. Okay. He have all the qualities of a great man, except that one of the statesman's hating businesses, loves, and is beloved by the ladies, of a low stature, but well shaped, a good mien, and address, a fair complexion, and very beautiful face. He's about 40, and as you could see, that signature has to be below to show and prove that this is an authentic document. So he was a light-skinned, fair-skinned man, once again, a man of color. Okay, meaning that he was not of the pale race. Okay, all right, let's proceed. And of course, we have a few of fair complexion. So, I already showed you an example of the fair complexion. So we're going to skip all that. We're going to go to the next. But what I want you to do is read the book for yourself. That's why I gave you the PDF. Okay. Next, we have Charles, Duke of Somerset, master of the house of the ancient family of Seymour, who made so great a figure in the reign of Edward VI. This duke, in the reign of King Charles II, had the garter and married the heiress of Percy of Northumberland, which much increased his estate. But he made no considerable figure till the reign of King James, when being in waiting as bed chambermaid at the arrival of Pope's nuncio in England, and refusing to assist at the ceremony of the introduction, he was dis, he was dismissed from all his employments. Let us see if we have a description for this man right here. Okay. On the queen's assertion to the throne, he was made master of the house and appears at the court with a great deal of warmth for a party that seems to suffer by King William's death. He is of a middle stature, well shaped, a very what? Black complexion, a lover of music and poetry, of good judgment, but by reason of great hesitation in his speech. Once expression, he is about 42 years old. Now, my question is, right? If all this time slavery was going on, how is that you have all these so-called black people in Europe, in all these prominent powers, in all these prominent positions? Why is that? You see, my brothers and sisters, they lied to you. They lied to each and every one of us. Okay? It was not the pale man in charge in Europe. King James was a man of color. Queen Sophia was a woman of color. Queen Anne was a woman of color. Princess Anne was a woman of color. Okay? The throne started changing on all the way up into 1900s until Queen Victoria. Okay? That's when it started changing. But the first Queen Elizabeth was a woman of color. Okay? And I got the facts. Let us proceed. So this man was a man of color. They said black in complexion, even if nobody's black. But, you know, it is what it is, right? Then we have John, Duke of Buckinghamshire and Lord Privy Seal, was Earl of Mulgrave in the reign of King Charles II, had garter and made a considerable figure at the court. Okay? Let us go down and let's see if we could give me 1 second. His presumption made him make love to the Princess Anne, now queen, for which he left the kingdom, but soon after returned and was made Lord Chamberlain by King James. Now let me ask you a question. If these people were supposed to be slaves and all black people were slaves coming from Africa, even in Europe, how is that you have a so-called black man, okay, who is the Lord Chamberlain, and even making love to the princess who later became queen? So you telling me slaves that was on the plantation made love to queens and princesses? Come on, people. You got to stop believing his story, man. You got to stop. And like I said, I know this is going to be a culture shock, but I'm here to wake you up. Okay? They lied to us. Let us read. As you could see, he made love to the princess, which is now queen. Okay? Check this out. Let's see if we could get his complexion. Look at this. He is of a middle stature, of a brown complexion, a full lofty look, near 60 years old. Now you're talking about a 60-year-old man making love to a princess, a man of color. But when you go and put those names on Google, they show you pale people, so-called white people. Why is that? Because everything was whitewashed. Why do you think there's no such thing as White History Month? Because they know you don't have to dig too far to learn the truth. Trust me, I am well studied. Okay? And this is not no ego. I'm just letting you know I've put in the work. This is over 20 years of studying and researching and researching and in searching. Okay? Let's proceed. Okay? Let's move on. Who do we have? Sidney, Lord Godolphin, Lord High Treasurer of England, is the son of a good family in Cornwall. He was page to King Charles II, ever of the great application, the improvement of knowledge, and understood perfectly everything he undertook. Let's go to his description. Let me see if we could see that. What does it say? He have an admirable clear understanding of slow speech with an awful serious deportment, does more than he promises, um, an enemy to flattery, shoe and violence of very hard access, but that being equally denied to all degrees of people makes it supportable of a low stature, thin with a very black and stern countenance, near 60 years old, another so-called black man. All right. Once again, if we are to believe that all these people were slaves, or the people who came into the Americas were so-called white people, how come all the nobles in Europe at that time during this so-called slavery, they were people of color? All right, then let's continue. Like I told y'all before, man, Chief Kalanago ain't playing. Let's continue. Daniel, Earl of Nottingham, Secretary of State, all right, is the eldest son to Mr. Finch, Lord Chancellor in the reign of King Charles II. Now you see who his father is. Let's look at the description because they are all of nobility. Let's look at his description. He have also an exterior of heir benefits and application enough to make himself capable. In his habit and manners, very formal, a tall, thin, very what? Very, not just a black man, but a very black man, like a Spaniard or a Jew about 50 years old. So when you're talking about the Spaniards who came here in 1492 and the Sephardic Jews, they were people of color. You see, my brothers and sisters, you were lied to. And that's the reason why I have to give you all this information. You see, you feel me? So when we come to the true story of Whitey Kubuli, then you will have to start questioning those things, because if they could lie to us about who the kings and who the nobility were and the people who came here in 1492, what else could they lie about? Could it be possible that Chief Kalanago is telling the truth, that they lied to us about us coming from Africa? Yes, that's what I'm telling you. We did not come from Africa. We have always been here. Let's proceed. And you see the signature below. The signature had to show that this is authentic. Okay? Somebody took personal responsibility for this information. Let's proceed. I got more for y'all. Let's go. Lawrence Earl of Rochester is the second son to the Chancellor Hyde, Lord Clarendon, and uncle to the present Queen. Now, if he's uncle to the present Queen, now keep that in mind now, he's the uncle to the present Queen. Let us go check his description. Y'all think this is a game? I ain't playing no games. Check this out. He is of a middle stature, well-shaped, of a brown complexion, and about 60 years old. But he's the uncle of the Queen. So let me ask a question. Inquiring minds wants to know. He's a so-called black man, and he's the uncle to the Queen. Can we just assume that the Queen is also a woman of color? But we got some more to go. Like I said, don't believe anything that I say. Prove me wrong. Let us proceed. And this is coming from eyewitnesses. They have to sign their name, official documents. Let's go to John, Duke of Newcastle. Is the son, is of the name of Hollis, was Earl of Clare before the Revolution, and married to daughter of the late Duke of Newcastle's, who died without heirs male, or a male heir. All right. Let's go to the description. He is a what? A black, ruddy complexion, a man near 60 years old. Remember I showed y'all what ruddy looked like? Now let me ask you a question. If ruddy was a so-called white person, how could you be black and ruddy at the same time? How could you be black and white at the same time? No, my brothers and sisters, ruddy is a dark brown. And I already showed you what ruddy meant. But just for the purpose of this video, because like I said, man, I tell people I like to show and prove everything that I talk about. So let us go look at ruddy. Ruddy animals, because I showed y'all that in one of the lessons already, but we're going to do it again. We're going to do it again. Ruddy animals. Okay. Ruddy animals. Here we go. You see how look, you see ruddy animals. This is what a ruddy animal look like. These ducks are ruddy. I think there's a slight delay. Let me just make sure that it's coming through. Okay. Here we are. Okay. Check this out. Okay? Come on, lineage. Come on, my people. Wake up, man. Wake up. This is what Ruddy is. Ruddy is not a so-called white person. Okay, Ruddy is a dark-skinned brown individual. Okay, let us look at a Ruddy bull, Ruddy bulls, and see the complexion of Ruddy bulls or the color of Ruddy bulls. Okay, man, listen, y'all think this is a game. I ain't playing no game. Check this out. Ruddy bull, look, you see, dark brown, dark brown. Here we are. Dark brown. Like I tell people, man, we have so much work to do. It's not even funny because over 99% of the people are indoctrinated with lies. And then even if you show them the truth, you teach them the truth, they still are going to be doubting Thomases. Now, I'm showing you the facts, but many of you seeing this video and seeing the facts with your own eyes, and you hear it with your own ears, and you will still be in doubt. Because you know what? Hey, what does Chief Kalanago knows? Because, oh, my teacher with a master's degree taught me something different. They're just fools like everybody else. And I'm no disrespect. No disrespect. You feel me? Because they are teaching what they were taught to teach, to indoctrinate the masses. They didn't take the time to study and do some independent research. Okay? They are puppets like everybody else. But I wasn't trying to play that game. I didn't want to fall into that trap. You feel me? So I said, nah, something wasn't right. And I had to figure it out. I had to find it out until my ancestors guide me in the right direction. And I'm thankful to them for that. All right? Now, by no means I'm calling anybody here a fool. That's not what I'm saying, right? But I'm saying the people who were teaching people, they got fooled like everybody else. Okay? Now, if you got fooled, it makes you a fool. And there are certain times, yes, I've been fooled. It made me a fool in that situation. But I had to, get the knowledge so I could no longer be a fool. All right. So I'm not here to disrespect anybody. So please don't take this personal. All right. Let us proceed. So you see what Ruddy is. Ruddy is a dark complexion. So he was a black, ruddy complexion man. Okay. All right, cool. Let's go to the next one. All this is, you have fair complexion all here. I already showed you the fair complexion, meaning that light skin, right? Let us go. You see another one here, what it says. Stature, fair complexion. All these people were people of color. Okay, here we are. George Fitzroy, Duke of Northumberland. Guess who is the son of? He is the son of King Charles II by the Duchess of Cleveland. Was one of the captains of King James's house guards, which he quitted at the Revolution. Now, I'm going to read that again. George Fitzroy, Duke of Northumberland or Northumberland. Guess who he was? Who his father was? He is the son of King Charles. Who? King Charles II. Okay, King Charles II with the Duchess of Cleveland. Let's go down to his description, my brothers and sisters. Guess what it says? Guess what it says? He is a tall black man. Like whom? Like his father, the king, about 40 years old. I keep telling y'all, man, trust me. I just got to laugh because and that's why I'm so passionate about this. And that's why I could speak with conviction and so much passion and so much excitement because I'm teaching people the truth. All right? Everything that you've been taught, unless you went to school to learn a skill, okay, to build something, to create things, everything else you were taught is a lie. I'm telling you, over 98% of the things that we learned when it comes to history in school, history and law is a lie. Okay? They did not teach us the truth. Even religion, but I won't get into religion right now. I'm just going to focus on history. You feel me? That's what I'm focused on right now. So let's read this again. Fitzroy. Okay? George Fitzroy. That is the son of King Charles with the Duchess of Cleveland. Let us look at his complexion. What does it say? Is a tall black man like whom? His father, King Charles II. Okay? like his father. So therefore, it just said it, like a black man, like his father. And guess what? Somebody had to sign this right here to show that it was authentic, signed by Charles. Let us go next. Charles, Duke of St. Albans, is son of King Charles II, another son of King Charles. But this time it was by Miss Gwen, was made by King Williams, one of the bedchamber and captain of the band of performers, and sent by the king to France to congratulate the marriage of the Duke of Burgundy. Let us look at his description. What does it say? He is of a black complexion, not so tall as the Duke of Northumberland, yet very like whom? King Charles. So both sons so far, they're saying they're same complexion with their father. Who do we have next? We have Charles Fitzroy, Duke of Grafton. Guess who he is? He's the grandson of King Charles. So we had two sons of King Charles who were black men, so-called black men, and now we have the grandson of King Charles, okay? And son to the heirs of the Bennet, Earl of Arlington. Let's go look at this man's description. What does it say? A tall black man, about 25 years old, and they had to sign to show that this is authentic. So not just King Charles was so-called black man, not just his two sons and the rest of them were so-called black people, but even the grandson was so-called black as well. Somebody told us a lie. Somebody got some explaining to do. Okay? Check this out now. We have Sir Nathan Wright, Lord Keeper, is the son of the clergyman, a good common lawyer, a slow counselor, and no civilian. All right, let us read. If we find this right here now, the reason why I wanted to put that is because I wanted to explain something to y'all. Let's read. He is a plain man, both in person and conversation, of middle stature, inclining to fat. Okay, half a far broad face, much marked with smallpox. The reason why I wanted to point that out is because though they lied to us and told us the Europeans came here and gave smallpox to the indigenous people in the Americas, and they brought blankets, but that's a lie. Okay, no, it was the nobles. They were catching smallpox in Europe because Europe were filled with plagues, and when they came here, they came with the smallpox. They did not give it to the people intentionally, like his story would want you to think. They lied to us, and they did not kill all the Indians with smallpox. That's a lie, because guess what? If that were the case, then the people who came here with it would have died. When they went to Africa and when they gave them smallpox in Africa, the Africans would have died. Our people were indigenous people, and they had remedies for all these things. So once again, they lied to us. Okay? They lied to us. Now, you have the document, you have the PDF, you have the book. I gave it to you. Please read it. Take your time to digest it. Do other independent research. Don't believe anything that I say. I'm only here to give you the truth. I'm only here to give you the facts, because only the truth will set us free. Okay? Why is all this important, Chief? Like I said before, all this is important because it's necessary to know who came here in 1492. Now, once you have established and identified who came here in 1492 and you realize they lied to us, my question to you is, what else did they lie to us about? What else did they lie to us about? That's the question you should be asking yourself. My brothers and sisters, I'm also going to take you into the United States and show you that the people who set up the 13 colonies were the black nobility of Europe. I'm going to show you that Abraham Lincoln was a so-called black man. George Washington was a man of color. He was ruddy, a brown-skinned man. These people lied to us. Okay? They lied to us. It were people who looked just like us that came from Europe and came here to enslave and fought our ancestors for our land, our birthright. Because Europe was being plagued. Europe was going through famine. So they couldn't have afforded no slave trade. Okay? In that magnitude, that's a lie. King James died broke. Queen Elizabeth I died broke. Don't let nobody fool you. I got all their autobiographies. Like I said, I'm well studied. Do me a favor, please. share the information, share the video, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell because I'm just getting started. I'm about to set Whitey Kubuli on fire with knowledge and information and facts. We're about to take back our birthright. That's what this is about. This is your brother Chief Kalinago. I'm out.